Ever wonder why you have such low self-worth? Why you feel unworthy of being loved, unworthy of your partner's love, thinking that if she truly knew who I was, she would not love me. Constantly telling yourself, man, I'm a piece of shit. Like I keep telling myself that I'm going to do this, I'm going to stay off porn, I'm going to get to 30 days, I'm going to maintain that boundary. I'm not going to get lost on YouTube. I'm not going to get lost on Instagram. I'm not going to do that thing today. I'm not going to eat that or do that. But you keep doing it and you keep feeling like shit. And then that spreads into every area of your life. The fact that you slipped and relapsed makes you feel bad. And so you take your foot off the accelerator and you engage in the other behavior with alcohol or food or something that has to do with laziness, procrastinating, whatever it may be. But the truth is, you actually do work. You feel worthless, but there are areas of your life where you have some self-confidence. There are areas of your life where you put in the work. A lot of you wake up in the morning and you go to work. Many of you are very successful. You have no problem with going to work and staying at work and responding to people at work and completing projects, some of you with your academics. You show up and you do those things. Your car breaks down, oh, you're going to work on the car. Some of you are working on your house. I know people, guys who have showed up to our program, and they are more interested in working on their house than they are on showing up. Like, oh man, I can't show up for the call because, like we have contractors coming today. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my program. Take your money and fuck off. It's very simple. You value working on your house, working on your kitchen, more than you do working on yourself. Look at the things in your life you're working on. Some of you are working on your body. Some of you are working on your physical health, but you're actually not working on yourself. You're not sitting down and journaling and trying to understand how you feel or why you feel that way. You experience a slip or relapse, but you get so caught up in the emotions that you just keep moving with the negativity. You slipped and you relapsed. You feel like shit, but did you sit down to analyze? What was the self-care I was not implementing? What was the boundary that I crossed? How did this happen? How can I prevent it from happening? When I set up the right boundaries and I implement the self-care and I find that yet again I still slipped and relapsed, what really happened there? How did I talk myself out of it? Is there a pattern to that? That is the work. And that is the most important work. The work instills the worth. When you do the work and you start seeing the results of this work, you cannot help but feel good about yourself. You cannot help but begin to feel worthy of being loved, worthy of everything that life has to offer. I'm not talking about entitlement. Entitlement happens when you don't do the work. And some of you are actually entitled. Some of you feel that because you read a book, because you've listened to so many episodes of this podcast, because you've gone to therapy, you've sat down in front of somebody, they've talked to you, because you're smart and you understand how addiction works, that somehow you should be free of this behavior. That is entitlement. If you have not done the work, and the work, it is done daily, brother. So my message to you today is very simple. Take an honest look at your life and ask yourself, like you're probably doing something right now as you listen to this episode. You're probably going somewhere, doing something or thinking of doing something. And ask yourself, what is the thing I am working on right now? What is the thing I'm going to spend the rest of my day working on? And ask yourself, have I done the work that is going to instill the worth? Or am I just lying to myself, telling myself that, oh, you know what, listening to JK's podcast is actually the work. My podcast is not going to work for you unless you're doing the work. This includes those of you, yes, who maybe got to the middle stage of your reboot and left the program and you're like, I want to try this out on my own. remember, for those of you, and I know there are thousands of you out there who listen to the podcast is a supplement to the work. You must still do your morning routine. You must still dialogue. You must still use the masturbation checklist when necessary. You must still have the things that you use to make yourself aware, the rubber band and so on. You must have all these basics in your life, and you must be implementing it. You must still have accountability. You must have a time in the month or in the week where you reach out to your accountability partners and you guys get on a call and go through what's happening. You must have all these things in your life. The work must be done. And then, brother, you will start feeling worthy. That is the secret. It is not sitting down with a psychiatrist or a therapist and them having you list out all the things in your life that you are thankful for, like showing you and talking about how you lost your self-worth in the past. None of that shit matters, gentlemen. You are in the here and now. The past is only a brief reference point. All you have is what you have right now, and it is the work that you do. So you guys know what I mean when I say the work when it comes to rebooting. That's my message, brothers. The work instills the worth. Go out there and get it done.